The IDW Comics have been a source of common love in the Sonic fandom for quite a while now. However, some people like myself haven't been as fortunate as to have been able to read those comics. Mostly a fault of my own doing because I joined the fandom quite late into the story of the IDW series. But the premise of today's video is, what if the IDW Comics were turned into an animated series? So, you're probably going to ask, Reddy, why would I want to watch a series based on comics that already exist? Well, my dear viewer, some people, myself included, may not really see the appeal of looking at each individual panel. You could argue that the comics have more charm in the form of comics, but for someone like me, who isn't particularly too fond of reading, having the comics be animated would be a much more transformative way for someone like myself who would rather see the movements instead of looking at each panel where the protagonist says something or make a movement. I also feel like it would be better for people who are just getting into the series, because think of it this way, would you rather start reading the comics when there's already an animated series of it? Because personally I wouldn't really see the point in starting reading something if there was an animated adaptation of it. But then again, it also gives people the choice of whether they want to read the comics or watch the series, so it's the best of both worlds for both parties. In terms of animation, there are plenty of different forms of animation they could do. They could go along the lines of traditional 3D animation like Sonic Prime, Sonic Boom, or they could go for something more 2D animation like the 90s cartoons or Sonic Colors Rise of the Wisp. But instead of things being a lot more cartoony like the old cartoons in Rise of the Wisp, they would still keep the art style of the comics, but the panels would be animated, and full scenes would be fleshed out rather than one single angle of a scene in the comic. If they were to go and do traditional 3D animation like they've done for Sonic Boom and Sonic Prime, as I've mentioned before, it could be another chance to see a range of different expressions in the characters, because in the comics, everyone has a range of different expressions. Sonic, for example, has a lot of unique expressions in the comics that haven't really made their way into the games yet, and it would be nice to see those translated into animations to really show off Sonic's personality, a thing that the games try to do but don't really do well. I'm going to throw in the obvious here and say, another reason why I would like to see the IDW Comics as an animated series is because of one dude, Silver the Hedgehog. I mean, come on. The majority of the shows like Sonic Prime, Sonic Boom have neglected Silver. I've said it before and I will say it again, I am tired of Sonic games underutilizing key main characters in the story. Again, take Silver for example. He appears in Sonic Forces as a main character as part of the Resistance fighting against Eggman's Empire. This is nice, but he doesn't do much. He does get a few lines of dialogue, but unlike Sonic 06, you don't get to play as Silver. He's just there to say to the audience, look people, here's all the characters that you love. Yeah, that's really lovely. But can we have the chance to play as Silver again? Something we haven't properly been able to do for 17 years. Turning the comics into an animated series is just an idea, of course. Some people might not like it, but those who are fans of the comics may like it. It's also something that Sega and IDW could really take advantage of. What do you think? Do you think the IDW comics have enough content for a good animated series? Let me know in the comments below. With that being said, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for future Sonic content on this channel. Also, don't forget to join the community Discord to communicate with me and a bunch of other Sonic fans. And as always, keep on speeding and have an absolutely fantastic day.